What's up, everyone? Chris Nelson here, bringing you another Just the Tip Tuesday. And this week I have 8 tips to help you avoid potentially a rental scam. There's a lot of things going on out there. There's a lot of people trying to get over. So hopefully these tips will help you or maybe someone you know. One of the first signs that you can look for is when you are online and you're looking at a property for rent, take a look to see if it has an MLS Watermark. If you're getting your listings and your information directly from a realtor through the MLS system, that's totally fine. But if you're on a website like Craigslist or some of the other websites and you see that the photo of the properties down in the bottom has some type of vague watermark, that could mean that the person went and stole the photos from legitimate websites like Zillow and a couple other websites and used them to make a fictitious post. So keep an eye out for watermarks. Another thing you might want to keep an eye out for, vague descriptions. If I'm renting a property, whether it's my own or someone has hired me to rent a property for them, or a landlord has their property for rent, they're usually going to leave some type of description about the property. So if you see something that's really short and vague, again, not to say that it is definitely a scam, but approach with caution. If it just says 3-bedroom, 1 bath, available now, that could be a sign that some sort of scam is going on. Another red flag could be the fact that they don't want to show you the place. That could mean they have no affiliation with the property. They're literally trying to sell you on the property from what you see online. And usually when this happens, the next set of chain of events really leads people to know, or should lead people to know, that there is some type of scam going on. Usually when the scammers don't want to show the rental property, they try to meet with you somewhere else, whether it be a Starbucks or any local gathering place where they don't have to physically go to the property. Definitely a red flag. Now this one is pretty big in my opinion. Background checks and screening is important, and it happens almost all the time. But if you come across an opportunity to rent a property and they are so passionate about renting the property to you without having you go through a background check, definitely a red flag. A lot of the phone calls that I have received from tenants who are renting a property after a scam have actually told me that the person that they were in communication with during the entire process was out of the country. If the person you're dealing with and you're trying to negotiate with is out of the country and won't be back into the country before you take possession of that rental property, I would highly suggest avoiding it. Most of the time, someone who's out of the country is going to find a way to have boots on the ground, whether it's a local realtor, whether it's a friend, a family member, someone who can actually get you inside the property and also prove that you are renting the property from someone who is an equitable owner or a property manager. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. And by that, I mean if the rents don't match up, it's probably a scam. If you're looking in a market and everything that matches your criteria is renting for $1,000 or $1,200, and here it is, you come across this listing for $650 a month, that is a huge indicator that there is some sort of scam going on. Unless there is some compelling reason where the property is going to rent for significantly less than fair market value, that is probably one of the biggest signs that you should err with caution, maybe ask some more questions before you move forward with renting that property. Another one, believe it or not, and this does happen, is that people are asked to sign a lease before they see anything. They're asked to sign a lease, which is a fake lease, and to hand over money before they see the property. And a lot of times these opportunities, as I mentioned, maybe the rent is so drastically reduced, or the photos that you think are accurate, or the photos that you think are going to be the property that you're actually renting aren't those exact photos, but you are led to believe that it is the house. I have seen people exchange money and sign a lease before they've seen a property. That is absolutely the last thing you want to do. Always make sure you're reviewing the property and that you are confirming that they are the actual owners before signing any lease and sending any money. Which brings me to my last and final bullet point. This is, if anything, remember this one. If you are asked to wire money, do not wire any money. As a matter of fact, if you were told that the only form of payment that can be made is cash, don't make the payment. Once that payment is gone, there's no recourse on getting that back. So if you're going to make a payment, make it check, personal check. That's your best way of making your payment, whether it's your rent or your security deposit. So there you have it. There are 8 tips to help you potentially avoid a rental scam. If you found any of this of value, please do me a favor, like, comment, but most importantly, please share. By sharing, you never know exactly who this content might reach and who we might be able to save. With all that being said, please check in next week for the very next episode of Just the Tip with Chris. Until then, take care.